Electrification comes in many forms and not just as Tesla EVs. For example, check these two out. The Mitsubishi Outlander and the Nissan X-TRAIL are two of Australia's most popular medium SUVs, and they can offer you a take on electrification that does not sacrifice the security of a petrol engine. But which one does the job better? Let's find out. This is the second generation Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid to land in Australia, and it's carved out a solid following. The Nissan X-TRAIL has also been around for years, but it's only in this new fourth generation that it's gone hybrid with its new e-Power system. Here we're driving the ES Outlander, which is the cheapest of four models in the Outlander plug-in hybrid lineup. We've lined it up against the X-TRAIL TI e-Power, which is actually the second most expensive model in the entire X-TRAIL range. Either of them will cost you about $60,000 by the time you get them on the road, so they're going to have to do some work to impress us. The Nissan is much better equipped in terms of comfort and luxury items, but the Outlander's drivetrain is much more sophisticated. It's going to be a really interesting contest. No doubt the Mitsubishi wins the warranty and servicing war with its 10 years worth of protection and longer service intervals. Per year, the cap price servicing charges are very similar, but based on kilometres travelled per dollar, the Outlander has the advantage. Here's where these vehicles really start to diverge. Under the bonnet, the Outlander is a plug-in hybrid that can run on petrol, electricity, or a combination of both. It's got a crazy low fuel consumption number because it can run on electricity for up to 80 kilometres claimed without using any fuel at all. Of course, once the battery is depleted, fuel consumption numbers go up because the petrol engine is running. And here's a cool feature. With the right wall box, the Outlander can power your house or feed electricity back into the grid. However, the ES is the only Outlander plug-in without a 1500 volt power outlet to charge items like laptops and cookers. The X-TRAIL TI e-Power doesn't have those sort of party tricks. It's what's called a range extender hybrid, so its petrol engine only ever charges the e-motors, one on each axle, and a storage battery. Therefore, the fuel consumption claim for the X-TRAIL is actually pretty orthodox. That's because the petrol engine is usually running. There's very little electric only running because the storage battery is so small. Both these vehicles have single-speed transmissions and an e-motor on each axle rather than a mechanical link providing all-wheel drive. Reflecting its entry model status, the ES Outlander doesn't feel that special when you settle into the driver's seat, which is cloth and not powered. The trim materials are predominantly dark around the dashboard, and some of them are a bit hard and scratchy. It seems well built though, and there's adequate adjustment of both the steering wheel and the driver's seat to get comfortable. The Outlander ES plug-in is again adequate when it comes to interior storage. There are door bins, a litter bin and a glove box up front, but there is nothing innovative. The Outlander ES comes with both a digital instrument panel and a digital infotainment touchscreen. The instrument panel can be switched between a traditional view and a modern view at the touch of a button. Reflecting its entry-level status, the Outlander ES isn't drowning in tech. There's no wireless smartphone charging, although CarPlay can be run via wireless. The Outlander's reversing camera gets the thumbs up. It's got good size and good clarity. It also has reversing guys to help you get into those parking spots smoothly. Unlike the rest of the Outlander plug-in range, the ES misses out on a 360-degree camera, but it does get front and rear parking sensors and a helpful 11-metre turning circle. There are no hands or feet-free parking assistance. No doubt you've stepped up a few rungs in equipment level when you settle into the X-TRAIL TI e-Power. The perceived materials quality is higher, the seat is powered and trimmed in leather, as is the steering wheel rim. The driver's seat is generous in its size, the steering wheel adjusts for reach and rake, and although it looks different, it has the same layout for controls as the Mitsubishi. The X-TRAIL has this double centre console as well as the usual storage options up front that include door bins, a litter bin and a sizable glove box. In terms of tech, the X-TRAIL TI is definitely a step up on the Outlander ES. It gets a head-up display and it gets a bigger infotainment touchscreen. However, behind the screens, the two cars share an operating system, which means the way you steer around them is pretty much the same. And as you can tether a smartphone in both cases, that's really the way to go for both ease of operation and clarity. The X-TRAIL TI has wireless CarPlay and smartphone charging, as well as wired Android Auto. It also offers more USB outlets than the Mitsubishi. With its 360-degree camera, the X-TRAIL is capable of giving more views of the ground around the driver, be it side, front or rear. Clarity is also good. There are also parking sensors to help you manoeuvre, along with a tidy 11.1 metre turning circle. Undoubtedly, the X-TRAIL trumps the Outlander for both feature content and presentation in the cabin. It's hard to believe they're so close on price. Again, the X-TRAIL has the edge when it comes to safety equipment. For instance, its driver assist aids include lane centering. Both cars get 5-star ANCAP ratings based on recent testing criteria. You sit up high in the back seat of the Outlander and get a terrific view out. Legroom is good. Headroom is great, but presentation is pretty drab and feature content is pretty low. But there are still some good features back here. Check out this trio of pockets on each seat and the fold-down armrest with cup holders. But you can't control aircon temperature and there are no USB plug-in points. It's similarly high up in the rear seat of the X-TRAIL, but the feeling back here is definitely more premium and there is also more space, and you can adjust your leg room via this sliding function. You can adjust the aircon temperature from the rear seat and you get somewhere to plug in your phone. But storage is not quite as good as the Outlander. The pockets are smaller and there are less of them. Unlike some other models in their respective ranges, these two are 5-seaters rather than 7-seaters. The Outlander has decent boot space, but the X-TRAIL definitely trumps it. And its divide and hide feature is a winner. The X-TRAIL also trumps the Outlander with its power tailgate. Well, so far I'd say the X-TRAIL has the edge. It's got more smarts, more stuff, more quality. But let's find out what happens when we get on the road. Let's start with the Mitsubishi. The Outlander ES immediately feels up and about when you get into it and get going. It's on the alert. That's because of its electric motors, which the Outlander is tuned to tap into for acceleration at low speed. The petrol engine chimes in as road speeds climb to around 70 kilometres an hour. The plug-in is so much more responsive than a standard petrol Outlander, it's almost unrecognisable. When it comes to handling, the new Outlander plug-in is a much better proposition than its predecessor. It's got quick light steering, which makes it feel very nimble, and it also has improved body control. It doesn't get all roly-poly in the corners. Instead, it stays really stable. When it comes to ride comfort, the latest Outlander is lacking a little refinement. However, it just seems a bit overreactive on the bumps. It's not a deal or backbreaker though. The beauty of electric motoring is the silence that accompanies it. So the Outlander plug-in is a calm and quiet driving experience. Even when the petrol engine chimes in, it doesn't get that noisy. Being pretty bluff and square, the Outlander is a good viewing platform. Its cameras and sensors do help negotiate tight spaces. powertrain differences mean the X-TRAIL e-Power is a more orthodox driving experience than the Outlander plug-in. That's because the petrol engine is usually on and revving to generate electricity, but you do get a zappy EV-style response from the e-Power system that is superior to the standard petrol-engined X-TRAIL. As we've already mentioned, the X-TRAIL and Outlander share fundamental platform underpinnings, so it's no surprise that Nissan has composed handling just like the Mitsubishi. It's leagues ahead of any previous X-TRAIL in terms of its steering, its body control, and its ability to zip through corners. The X-TRAIL sacrifices a little handling crispness compared to the Outlander for a little more ride comfort. Considering these cars will spend a lot of time cruising cruddy Aussie roads, it's a sensible tune. The X-TRAIL can't match the Outlander for refinement. Its petrol engine is just too obvious too often. But having said that, it's not that the Nissan is that noisy. It's more that the Mitsubishi is so quiet so often. The X-TRAIL is another high-riding SUV that provides a great view out. It might just edge the Outlander, but it's close. The Mitsubishi wins the fuel economy battle hands down, as long as you keep juice in the battery. Then you'll be able to drive 60 to 70 kilometers in town at low speed without sucking on fuel. But once the battery is exhausted, the two cars line up much closer on fuel consumption. On our test, the Mitsubishi still had an overall edge of around 1.5 litres per 100 kilometers. It's not a huge advantage, around $3 per 100 kilometers, and that does add up. So no surprise the driving experience is so similar when these two cars share a significant amount of tech. Where they really vary is in their drivetrains, and there's no doubt the potency and frugality of the Outlander edges it ahead on road. It's a taste of what EVs can deliver. But there's a bigger picture here, of course. It's not just about the powertrain. The X-TRAIL is clearly ahead when it comes to equipment levels, a luxury feel and storage smarts. On road it edges the Outlander in a coin toss for ride and handling composure. So, if you're after a really impressive medium SUV with some electrification, then the X-TRAIL TI e-Power is a really terrific choice. Yes, the money's getting up there, but the quality is there too. So where does that leave us with the Outlander ES? Look, by comparison for the same money, it's a pauper pack in equipment terms. Its strength is in its powertrain. It's potent and it's economical. In fact, it's super frugal if you keep the battery topped up by plugging it in. Not everyone is ready to go all the way to a Tesla or any other EV right now. So what that makes the Outlander plug-in hybrid is a really good intermediate step.